Yes, welcome in one and all. This is the full 10 yards of betting podcast for the very last time this season, ladies and gents. One game left to go. So slim pickings on the game front, but it's certainly not slim pickings on the betting opportunities front. And as you can see, stellar cast here to run you through the final game of the season. Adam, we'll welcome you, and I know you're obviously at the bottom right hand. You're usually top right hand corner, but Bengals fan. I know that you don't like to bet on Bengals games, if I recall correctly. But I suppose you've really got a choice this week, haven't
you? Yeah. This week's obviously a little bit different. The requested bets have gone through. I ruled out everything that said Rams winning, and I think the Bengals have got a genuine chance. They might not be the best team in the league. The stats and the numbers definitely don't suggest that, but they've been winning every game they've got here. They've held the Chiefs to 3 points in the second half of 2 games. They've beaten everyone who they've come up against near enough. Obviously, the sacks is the big thing, but Burrow knows about the sacks. He knows he's going to get sacked. He knows where the pressure is going to come from. It's going to be Donald and Von Miller mostly. He'll just try and avoid that area, and he did that pretty well against the Chiefs. Only took 1 sack against the Chiefs. He threw the ball away a few times, which is something he didn't do against the Titans. He was holding it. So I think he's learned from that, and he's going to just ditch the ball a couple of times. But it probably means a few more dump offs, a few more short passes, which we'll get to later because there's obviously a few props that we can go on for that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. It should be a very interesting game for the neutral, frankly, and for me, it's going to be interesting but terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as bad as being a Cowboys fan and knowing at some point you're going to lose in the playoffs. So at least you've got a 1 in 2 chance.
It's the hope that kills you, though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't really have any at this point. But anyway, moving on. That's for 2022 season. Callum, welcome you in. You're not in a car today, and you're not elsewhere. You're with us. You're present. Super Bowl for you. I know you've been betting on absolutely everything that you can put your fingers on that you've not been restricted on. But a big game for you betting wise. You love betting on the Super Bowl? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a fun kind of one-off experience. I apologize for previously being in cars and unavailable. My excuses have run out this week. I apologize, but yeah. No, I'm excited. I'm fortunate enough to be stateside, so I get to watch a reasonable hour. Which is very lucky for me compared to the rest of you guys. And I know Adam, hopefully celebrating at 4 or 5 a.m. will be interesting for his household. But yeah, no, I love the pageantry. I, as we'll come on to, would rather sprinkle small stakes on long shots than big stakes on sure things because I don't have the big stakes to play with. So might as well try and shoot for the moon, and why not do it on the Super Bowl rather than anything. Give me all the wacky, weird, and nonsensical stuff, and I'm sure we'll go through it all.
Yeah, sensible stuff indeed. And just to point out, like some of the works in the gambling industry, obviously make sure that you are gambling responsibly. If you are being honest, this is a genuine. If you're feeling your gambling is getting out of control, come and talk to me, and we will come and sort you out and put you in the right direction. But Jackie boy, as someone that's going to be betting in euros rather than pounds, well, I suppose Callum's been betting in dollars. Have you been betting? Callum, whereabouts are you in the States at this time? Because you're Texas, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in Dallas.
I'm still in Dallas, right?
There's a VPN here, VPN there, you know.
Oh, right, okay, I see what you mean, yeah. Well, let's say, at least there's not going to be no victory parade in Dallas on Monday, let's put it that way.
No.
It's a bit of preempting there. But Jackie boy, you'll be betting in euros, but for the sake of the £100 challenge, which we'll get to a bit later on, you'll be betting in pounds. But how are you doing, and what do you normally do on traditional for Super Bowl?
Usually I watch the Sky Sports NFL all day, watch a few games, and then drink the whole day and get chicken wings. But I have actually a match this weekend on Sunday, so I say straight after the match I'll be on the piss, and hopefully I'll be conscious for the game. But yeah, like this is probably the most Super Bowl in the last maybe seven or 8 years that I actually cannot pick who's going to win. I always have. I know the Super Bowls are usually close, like price wise, but I honestly can't choose between these two teams. I suppose the Rams should win, but the kind of feel-good story of the year, the Bengals, you can't write them off. Like I've actually put most of my money on the halftime show. This Super Bowl got on the next episode. Might do like Snoop Dogg to smoke on stage because I actually just can't call the game at all, really. So yeah, that's basically my bets have been on the Super Bowl so far.
There we go. I wonder if you get a price on Snoop Dogg sexually assaulting someone allegedly on the halftime show. That's Reuters. That's not me. That's not me. There we go. But you'll see there was a fifth face in the huddle this week. Obviously, Super Bowl. We do like to bring an extra face in. There's some guests in. Adam of the Franchise Tag podcast. Adam, welcome to you, full 10 yards debut. Obviously you're the betting guy for the Franchise Tag. How's your luck been this season? Obviously, I've been seeing you on the timeline. But yeah, big game this Sunday. How's your gambling been this season?
The season's been pretty good. It's not been too bad. We had quite a few touchdown scorers that we've had on the preview shows that we've done. It's been a bit quiet in the playoffs and the Super Bowl. I think it's a bit harder when you've only got so few games to it narrows it down a bit, doesn't it? But it's not been too bad. When it comes to the Super Bowl, it's a few bets, not a lot. Kind of a little bit like what Jack said. It's difficult, this game. It feels like the Rams should absolutely steamroller them, but I don't see it happening. And it's one of them things where it's like, if all throughout the playoffs, it's been I think the Titans will win, but I want the Bengals to win, and then it's I want the Bengals to win, but I think the Chiefs will win, and stuff like that. They've been quite close games in the AFC, so I think it's going to be a tough one for either of them. But yeah, firmly on the Bengals side to join in with the other guys here. So yeah.
Yeah, and if I recall correctly, you're a Packers fan. Any bets on Aaron Rodgers for MVP at the start of the season?
I am a Packers fan for my sins. For your
sins, get out of here. Yeah. Jesus Christ! NFC title games, like the last couple of years, for your sins.
It's the hope that kills you. That's what it is. No, I didn't have anything on him for MVP at all. I must admit, although they kind of went all in, I felt like there was a lot of other teams that had a good chance this year, and I also thought that he might have to do. I don't know. I don't get the MVP race. I always think to myself, it should include the playoffs and it should include the whole season. I never understand it, and I don't actually think he did amazingly well this year. I think he was better the year before than what he was this year. You look at the stats, and Brady did better in some of the stats than what he did. So it kind of felt like a bit of a toss-up, really. So no, I didn't go anywhere near it. But hopefully he'll still be around for another year or two. So
yeah, I mean, I think it speaks to the season in the sense that Rodgers did win it, but there wasn't really like say he didn't jump out, he didn't stick out like a sore thumb, and like say you had Brady with a couple of votes as well, and obviously Cooper Kupp got one as well. But yeah, no real standout performer. But I think the reason it doesn't include playoffs is obviously if it includes the playoffs as well, the Super Bowl winners generally going to get it or not. So maybe they don't want to skew it. And I think it's a select board, isn't it, that vote for MVP? It's like 40, 50 odd people. Dinosaurs that have been around the league for 50 years and all the rest of it. So, but there we go. And obviously, but Adam wanted to remind me in the private chat here that he was successful in his honors betting Chase Offensive Rookie of the Year, paying for all your bets this weekend, Adam.
Near enough. Yeah, my original. I got 7-1 on him after week 4 or something of the season. Obviously, it got a bit sticky towards the end, but then he pulled out with the last couple of games left, and yeah, that is paid for hopefully a Chase Mini helmet, because I haven't got a Chase one yet, to go with the Joe Burrows ones that I've got. I have 2 Joe Burrows, so I'm allowed to say Burrows with an S. It's
nice.
official on this one. 2 Joe Burrow helmets. So yeah, my Chase one, I did say at the time when I placed the bet that will pay for a helmet or a jersey. So I should really do that, but it's going to go mostly on the Super Bowl, and then I'll use the winnings from that to pay for it.
And talking of Joe Burrows, we welcome in Brian Balding. No, we don't. Could you imagine? No, right. Well, before we get into the game itself, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, there are loads of weird and wonderful things that you can probably bet on amongst loads of different bookies in the States, in the UK, in Ireland, whoever you're betting with. You can get a wacky and wonderful bet. Obviously, you have the usual stuff, which we'll touch on first. Coin toss again. If I know Callum, you like to bet on the coin toss, and if you're betting on the coin toss, you need to get out more. I'm sorry, but you can do a coin toss anywhere, in the park, in the beds, on the toilet. Obviously, don't make sure you're accurate with where you're tossing it. That sounded a lot worse than it should do. But yeah, the one thing that Sky Bet did do, and I've been searching for hours. Well, not hours. I mean, it's a bit exaggeration, but trying to find. Obviously, the Rams are the hashtag away team, or air quotes away team, so they'll be calling them. I can't find anywhere. Adam, I don't know if you were able to find any stats on what the Rams have been calling this year, because Sky Bet have 10 to 11 on what the Rams will call. And that's kind of, apart from obviously the coin flip being absolutely random and you have literally no chance that is 50-50, you can get a bit of a trend with what the Rams call. And there was something that all the away games the Rams have been to that they have won. They've won the toss, and obviously defers. You can probably work out what they've called. And did you manage to find anything out on what they've been calling this season?
All I found was searching Twitter, and I found the only 3 games that I found with any kind of Rams call something. They called tails on all of them.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So
because the thing is, it's not going to be random, is it? If you're going to call something, you're always going to call the same thing. You don't just rock up.
That's my assumption. So I have bet on Rams calling tails, based on what I found on Twitter. It was rough trying to find anything. I even went on Game Pass, and Game Pass cuts off all the pre-game stuff when it's a later game. They had one game that went to overtime, and the 49ers called the toss on that one, so I couldn't even get that one as a bit of information. So I have been searching. If you just search in Twitter, Rams call tails, you will find more results than you find for Rams call heads this year. Let's put it that way. So I consider that a slight edge. So I think that's more 60-40. So I have put a bet on Rams call tails, which might be stupid, but we'll see. But overall, tails are leading 29-26 in the Super Bowl. It's been 6 tails out of the last 8 Super Bowls. And weirdly, the last 7 Super Bowls, the winner of the toss has lost the game.
Yep.
So I've probably stolen all your numbers there, but I said I had some, so I'll get them out quickly while I'm talking.
Yeah, I mean that's quite a streak, isn't it?
Well,
7 straight. Why? Why is it?
Well, because if the Rams are going to call tails, because they always call tails, then they're going to win the toss because it will be tails, and then they're going to lose the game. So they're going to lose the game. Everyone's happy.
We've cracked it. We've cracked the Da Vinci Code, the Matrix.
No point watching it.
We've cracked the Matrix. That's brilliant. But yeah, no, I mean 7 straight to lose. That's quite a streak. But there we go. Hopefully for your sake, Adam, it doesn't get beat. It doesn't get beat because obviously we've identified that it's going to be tails. The Rams are going to call it and defer and all this shit. But there we go. Anything else coin wise?
Deferring the toss is 1-5 on Sky Bet. Obviously, that's not very good odds, but the Rams and the Bengals have deferred every time they've won.
Yeah, always hammer that.
So 1-5, while it isn't big odds, if you can get a decent amount down, then it should be a banker.
Yeah, it should be. Okay, National Anthem. Jackie boy, I'm going to come to you for this one. That's something that, in our little private group chat, we've been we kind of keeping an eye on. I think, am I right in thinking it was quite low and it's gone up in value in terms of number of seconds? I know it's something you've been keeping your eye on this week.
Yeah, I think Adam was saying it was at 92 or was it at 91 or something like that? And it went up to 103.5 on Paddy Power yesterday, I think. And now I think it's at 101. So there's been a good bit of movement in it. National Anthem is always something funny. So something funny to bet on. Like when I watched the NFL with my mates, like just say the Super Bowl, for example, and when they say I'm betting on the National Anthem, they get some laugh. Like you have your phone out, just record, or obviously time and how long it is. Like in big celebrations, if it goes over, like it's just mental bet. But I looked at it and the girl that's doing the National Anthem, she I think she was 1 minute and 25 seconds on Memorial Day in 2021, and she was 1 minute and 30 seconds, I think, in 2015. So that's both well under the 103 or 101 seconds that they're given. So I'd probably lean towards the under, but I wouldn't be lumping on either way. But if there's a request to bet that's like under, and then maybe tails National Anthem under, and maybe like Burrow MVP or something, I'd be more likely to get on something like that.
The degenerate request to bet the tail flip in the National Anthem in the first time. Oh, mate, if you don't, if you to identify a degenerate gambler, just ask if they bet on the National Anthem or the coin flip.
It will get leaked.
What about all of them?
At some point on Twitter, so keep an eye on Twitter. There will be someone who tells you exactly what it will be. I believe from listening to a pod earlier this week, the backing track is 1 minute 56, so that's 110. There was something that someone leaked earlier in the week. I got on over 93.5 when that was on at Paddy Power. Obviously, as Jack said, it's now 102.5. But it will get leaked. There will be somewhere. So keep an eye out. You've probably got a couple of minutes. Warren Sharp, I think, is on to that kind of stuff. So keep an eye on him. But that's the thing. When people laugh at you for better than national anthem, I've won every year for like the last 5 years because you just follow what people tell you, and it is pretty much guaranteed money.
This day and age, you don't get much of an edge over the bookies anymore. You've got to exploit the edges where you can get them. And if it's someone standing outside the stadium recording how long the national anthem is, and they're willing to put it on Twitter, give it to me. I do not care. I do not care. There we go. All right, moving on then. Let's go to the end of the game. Gatorade Shower. Probably not as novel as or something that everyone wishes to bet on as much as it perhaps used to be. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it's kind of around more now. It's kind of lost its tarnish a little bit. But Callum, any Gatorade bets for you? Any particular colour you like? I saw obviously orange is the favourite. If you're looking for a Bengals win, you have to go for orange, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been burned by Gatorade in the past, which is still a painful memory.
You sure that's Gatorade and not like lava?
Yeah, no, it was Gatorade. Yeah, it was. I had a good night when the Chiefs beat the 49ers a couple of years ago. It would have been the best night I'd ever had the Gatorade been red as it was supposed to be, and instead it was actually orange. So. I'll never forgive Travis Kelce for picking the wrong cooler, but, we are what we are. That said, orange is the favourite. I think the stats lean that orange has been either top or second top at all time as well. The reason that I personally would lean orange, if you see the game going as I go, is that for obvious reasons, Bengals wear orange, that leans. There's some significance to that as well. But in an interview on part of my take, Sam Hubbard, defensive end for the Bengals, he said that the Gatorade on their sideline is, quote, always orange. So if you think the Bengals are going to win, even at plus, 200-ish, I think I saw it as good as 2-1 recently, 2.88-ish. If you like the Bengals to win, I think throwing orange Gatorade in there is a fairly solid shout. Just in terms of logic and, a little bit of an inside edge from the camp. You can never be sure it's not going to be, quote unquote, clear or water, as is more likely. But if I was going to lean to a Gatorade color, it would be orange for that reason.
Yeah, and we'll come to
threes.
Oh, go on.
Sorry, I think you get 3-1 on LV bet. I think it's 3-1. So obviously worth it at that price.
Yeah. When we come to the main odds, there are a few different, there's a few smart ways you can get on maybe the Bengals, or obviously we'll look at the MVP market. And again, like say Gatorade, there are edges if you want to try and bet something to happen, but in a slightly different way. But Adam, we'll come to you. Obviously not spoken for a little while. Yeah, top right, Adam. Top right, Adam. Is any novelty bets? Anything you get involved with? And I'll open to the floor afterwards about the halftime show because that's all come down. But for you, anything novelty that you ever bet on? Gatorade Shower, halftime show, Anthem.
I mean, I don't do a lot, I must say, but I think you kind of have to a little bit. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? I think the orange definitely, will go for a Bengals win, like Callum said. You got to think 15-8 is worth a punt on that. So I think that'll probably come off. I know one that's been going around is Eminem to wear a Detroit Lions shirt. I mean, it's the only way they're going to get to the Super Bowl, isn't it? So I think it's definitely worth a go. 13-2. It's not a bad price for that. But yeah, I mean, not a lot really, but certainly them two. I think I might be having a few quid on.
Yeah, that's certainly. And then we'll talk about the halftime show now. It was probably again this year. I mean, I don't really know much about the artist. Obviously, I know a bit about Eminem, but it's not my area. But so for that reason, I'm not really been attached to that market. We've had some decent. Last year we were on. Was it Starboy last year? And then I nailed Maroon 5. That's obviously an indictment to my music taste. But harder to breathe at 10-20-1 or whatever it was. But there we go. Anyone want to open up? Obviously, Jackie mentioned about, was it the next episode? I mean, I don't even know a word lyric from that song. So I assume all the betting's been taken down now, and are we expecting for anywhere that is still up the next episode? Is that the song, opening song we thinking?
Yeah, I was looking at 5 dimes. I think it started off at 92 on 5 dimes, and as the week went on, it just kept getting bet down. I think the last I seen of it, it was 1 to 3 on 5 dimes. I think it's minus 400. I think that's 1 to 3 roughly. And usually 5 dimes gets that spot on, because last year with the weekend, I can't remember what the song was, but it got bet in with like 2 days to go, and they took it down as well. And the year before that, I think it was Shakira and Jennifer Lopez, and I remember She Wolf went from like 12 to 1 into 1 to 5 on the Friday, and yeah, like they nearly always get it right. Like it obviously gets leaked. What else have I got on that? Snoop Dogg to smoke on stage 3 to 1. Like anytime you see him, he has like a joint in his hand, so it's a good chance he'll light one up. Good chance he light one up during the halftime show. 3 to 1's a good price as well. That's pretty much it. They do American on the last song as well, but I wouldn't have a clue. It'd just be a shot in the dark, because 5 dimes didn't have it priced.
I can't imagine someone smoking during the Super Bowl halftime. you never know. As my dog goes mental.
It's legal.
Yeah. This is true, but still, you know.
But when's that ever stopped anyone?
Well, yeah,
true.
Yeah.
On TV in front of 90 million people.
Well,
maybe.
yeah. I mean, Janet Jackson.
Well, that's a statement, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Janet Jackson got frisky, didn't she? So there we go. Moving swiftly on. Where's my thing? Okay, here is the betting for the Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. We finally got there. 21 minutes in. The LA Rams are 1-2. Bengals are Dolly Parton 9-5. The handicap is around 4.5. Total points over underline is 48.5. Overtime, if you fancy that. Not bad, not the worst shot in the world. We've seen what's worse at 12 to 1 shots. And then on the right hand side there, you can see touchdown scorers. Cup, obviously the favourite, in both the first and last. And anytime the only player that is odds on for the Super Bowl. We'll do a quick round table. Any particular any touchdown scorer that you particularly like? Callum, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, considering the stage, considering that Cup is obviously going to draw a lot of attention, I think there's some value in OBJ. They've looked for him in the red zone a lot. And kind of by the same, I guess, logic to an extent, I think T. Higgins is worth a shout, considering Jamar Chase might well draw a lot of the Rams' attention. It's difficult. You know, my go-to would actually be, in a game like this, to be taking people like Higbee and Uzama, but there's no real kind of security on whether either of them is going to be able to play. I don't think Higbee is. And then, do I really want to go with the backup tight ends? I'm not sure. So I like OBJ and I like Higgins as potential threats. It's hard to look past the running backs, though, obviously, as well.
Yeah, no, for me, again, I like Boyd at over 2 to 1. I think it's decent. Higgins 13 to 8 as well, yeah. And Cam Akers at evens are ones that shout out to me. Adam, touchdown tips, Adam?
Yeah, Higgins would be the one for me. He's 6'3", 6'4", and he's going up against a 5'10" corner, or probably going up against a 5'10" corner. So you got to think they're going to throw a jump ball up for him. But yeah, obviously this is the tightest the lines are going to be all year. So there's not really anything that stands out. Even Kendall Blanton's only 9-2 or 7-2 as the backup tight end. So it's pretty difficult to find any value. There was an erroneous 18-1 on Samaje Perine earlier in the week, which I obviously snapped up. And if Perine and Matthew Stafford get in, then I will probably be going to watch the Bengals next year. Frankly, with the odds I got on that one, so that would be lovely. Matthew Stafford has scored 2 rushing touchdowns in the playoffs. I think he was 17-2. Joe Burrow's 13-2 for a touchdown anytime. Obviously, it's the playoffs. It's the Super Bowl. So these guys, they're going to put their body on the line a bit more than they normally would. So it wouldn't be a massive shock. But yeah, they're not a whole lot of value, to be honest, on touchdown scorers.
Yeah, no, I certainly agree. And from one Adam to the other, if you had £1, Adam, on anything touchdown scorers, first, last, anytime, what are you putting on?
As has already been said, I feel the obvious choice is Higgins. I really do. Ramsey's going to be on Chase, isn't he? And so Higgins is going to have that little bit of extra space. I can't help but feel that he's going to be the one to go for. I do like the Perine, especially when he was that price. But even now, I mean, Sky Better got him 7-1. It's not a bad shout. There's going to be a lot of check downs, I think, to Perine and to Mixon. So I think that's definitely a decent bet as well. But yeah, I think considering that Higbee and Uzama are out, like Callum said, it's difficult to find value. And so I think because of that, I'd probably go for Higgins as my main guy, really.
Yeah, it is hard. Like I say, because there's only one game, obviously there's only 20 odd players to price up, isn't there? So there's going to be a lot more consideration or a lot less blaseness, if that's even a word. But Jackie boy, same question to you. You got a euro to stick on a touchdown score. What are you sticking on?
I'm going to go with someone different. T. Higgins as well. 7-4. I seen him earlier on, and I thought it was well worth backing. I'm actually going to put maybe 5 or 10 euro on him MVP. I expect that if the Bengals are to win, he'll have a massive game. I think it's Darius Williams that'll be covering him. He's been terrible in postseason. I think T. Higgins is very, very good wide receiver. He kind of gets overshadowed sometimes because of Chase, but he's as good a wide receiver too in the NFL. And I think I might put a bit on him to get 100 yards and a touchdown. I think he can get 9-2 on it, Sky Bet as well. So yeah, it'd be T. Higgins as well for me. Boring answer.
No, it doesn't matter if it's a winner. Doesn't matter what price it is. If it is a winner, right then, lads. Before we get into that £100 challenge, I'm going to go around the table and I'm going to get your best bet for the whole of the Super Bowl. So pin your colours to the mast or whatever. Plant your flag. I want your best bet for the Super Bowl. We'll put these up on our Twitter as well. Full 10 yards. Callum, start with you. Best bet for the Super Bowl.
You're not going to like it. Opening kickoff, no touchback, nailed on. Each and every single way. It's been bet in. Well, I put my neck on the line here now, as you asked. So if it doesn't come in, then I guess it's my fault. It was as long as 2-1 when the markets opened, and it's now been backed into being favourite. So I guess it's a shame if you weren't on already. This is based on a number of things, but this bet kind of sprung to my attention last year, really largely due to Pat McAfee, who went on a long rant about when he kicked off in the Super Bowl, it was impossible to kick the ball through the end zone based on how hard the brand new ball is. The ball for the kickoff is taken out of the box, kicked once, retrieved from the field and taken straight to the Hall of Fame. So it's not been warmed up, it's not been worked, it's a brand new ball, it's equivalent to a rock, is what McAfee was saying. And, he knows better than most of us about kicking off in NFL games. It's a fun one. It's a way to win some money before the games even really started. And to be honest with you, as much as I really, really want the Bengals to win, as both Adams, as all three of us, all five of us really have noted, it's really hard to call this game. So I'm going to pick a bet that has nothing to do with the crossover. There's a 50% chance that Matt Gay, we know it's a guarantee that Matt Gay will be kicking off because the Bengals will be receiving because the Rams will have called tails, won the toss, and deferred. So Matt Gay will be kicking off, and Matt Gay is not 100%. So again, I just think it leans even more and more and more towards no touchback, and that will make me very happy. And
there we go. To complete our full house of bingo of degenerate bets, opening touchback gets a mention there as well. But Adam Wolford, your favourite bet for your best bet for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, that was a little bit.
You've got to be hammering Bengals +4, surely.
I was going to say you warned us earlier, but no, I'm definitely not betting on the Bengals +4. No, it's second half, the highest scoring half. You can probably get 5 to 6 or so still. It's been the highest scoring half in 15 out of the last 20 Super Bowls. The Bengals have been starting slow all year, obviously. So I haven't been piling on in the second half. The first quarters and first halves in the Super Bowl have been really slow starting. I'm not entirely sure whether it was mainly Patriots doing that, but even without them, as I say, 15-5 to the second half. So I think I've got to go with that one.
Okay, Jackie boy.
I suppose it kind of goes with Adam's bet. Under 23.5 points in the first half. I like 2 first-time Super Bowl quarterbacks. The Bengals have kind of started off slow in the last game. I think there could be a bit of nervousness there. That's probably my favourite bet. I also like the Bengals' first drive to be a punt. I think it's 10-11 on Sporting Bet, but last time I checked it was just for the podcast and it was suspended. There's a lock on it, so hopefully it comes back at the same price. I think they've had away games this year. I heard that they've had 7 punts, 1 fumble, 1 field goal, and 1 touchdown in the 10 games. So 7 out of 10 is pretty. It's not great. Getting 10-11 on that, especially in the Super Bowl. I know they're technically the home team, but they're not. So yeah, 10 from 11, that'd probably be my second favorite bet as well.
There we go. And then Adam, bring us home. What's your favorite? What's your best
My
bet?
my favorite is T Higgins again. It's over 60. Well, I got over 67.5 last night. I think it's gone up to over 69.5, but I think he'll get both of them easily. 5 to 6. I think that's a good shout. One thing I would like to say, I do think, and this is a big price one, Mike Hilton interception at 13-2. I can see the way the Bengals play. They're going to hold back. They're going to have that defense back there. Stafford's going to try and get passes in, and we all know he likes an interception every now and then. So yeah, Mike Hilton at 13-2, I think's a good shout as well. So kind of cheated, had to, but.
Yeah, that's quite right. And when whilst you're there, Adam, talk us through. We'll branch over now to the £100 challenge. Is that something that Adam tends to always win? So hopefully, there's 4 of us that can beat Adam on that. But do you just want to run us through your 100? You've kept it nice and simple, just same stakes for each, and just 4 nice buckets. So talk us through it.
Yeah. So I think the Bengals are going to win it, but we're going to go for the +4 just to make sure you got the field goal advantage at 10-11. So I think that's a fairly obvious one. Already mentioned about T Higgins, got over 67.5. Like I said, I think he could easily get 90, 100 yards in this one. I think there's going to be quite a few points in this game. It's going to predominantly be in the second half, as Jack said. But I can see over 48.5. It's quite a good. Unfortunately, the bookies, I think, have hit that total pretty close to what it's going to be. But I think it will just tip over. And then finally, just as a bit of a laugh, the Gatorade Shower. I'm going for the Bengals. So 15-8. Why not have a go on that one?
No, that's it. That's absolutely it. And we didn't mention the MVP market. Obviously, one of the main novelty market, not necessarily novelty markets, but one that's especially out for the Super Bowl. But you've got Matthew Stafford at evens. You've got you've got Joe Burrow at 2s. I think it was a Cup at 11-2, and then Aaron Donald was 18s, but he's now into 12s. I think outside of 4 of those, Adam Wolford, If you're looking to back the Bengals, obviously you don't want to be. The likelihood is that Joe Burrow will get it because there's so many stars on that team. He's going to spread it around. So rather than backing the Bengals to win, you'd back Joe Burrow for the Super Bowl outright, for the MVP. But obviously, if you've got the Gatorade Shower, if you want to take an even further risk, you'd bet the 3-1 with LV bet or wherever it was that the Gatorade Shower is going to be orange, right?
You made me look like an idiot with my one of my £100 challenge bets now because I went with 13-8 on the Bengals money line when I should have done 2-1 on Burrow winning MVP. Frankly, obviously if Bengals win, it should be Joe Burrow. It could be Chase, but.
I think there's just too many stars for it to all be funneled through to Chase. And I think if Chase starts going off, they'll just put Ramsey on him. And then they'll just back to T Higgins. And unless the only time a wide receiver in this game will get it is say if the player gets 3 touchdowns and 150 yards or something stupid like that. And let's be honest, I don't think it's that type of game because there's too many stars on the show. But go on, carry on.
I agree with you on that. So the only long shot I would have had on MVP was Von Miller. I think he was 45s. I think he's down to 40s now. £100 challenge. I think there's going to be a lot of dump offs. So I've gone with Mixon over 26.5 receiving yards. I was going to go with receptions, but it's really terrible odds for over 3.5 receptions. Cam Akers under 16.5 rush attempts. I think that Sony Michel is playing and Darrell Henderson apparently is going to play as well. So they could well mix it up. And as much as I don't trust McVay, he has said they're going to go with 3 people running the ball. So I think under 16.5 on that one. Burrow and over 10.5 rush yards. He's going to be scrambling. He's going to be running for his life. I'm not going to deny that. They have a very good pass rush against a poor offensive line. And he ran for 25 yards last week. And then I've gone with a few big shots just to make it a bit more fun. Samaje Perine and Matthew Stafford is still 80-1 for both of them to score. As I said, Stafford has scored in 2 of the 3 postseason games. Perine's scored in 1. It was 250-1, which is ridiculous. 80-1. I've got a 5 on that. And then let's go with the long ones. Rams halftime, Bengals full time. Chase and Cup both to score. Burrow MVP 40-1. There's a similar one.
That's a cracker.
Yeah, there's a similar one that's 14-1, which has 3 people to score, which is just terrible. So don't look at that one. And then another one, 50-1. Okay, Joe Burrow, 2+ touchdown passes and 12 rushing yards. Joe Mixon, 27 receiving yards. Beckham, 64 receiving yards. T. Higgins, 6 receptions. Evan McPherson, 8 kicking points. Von Miller, 1 sack. Is 50-1 on Sky Bet. It's a lot going on. But as I said, I think that Burrow gets his yards. I think Mixon gets his yards. OBJ will get the softer coverage from the Bengals defense. And T. Higgins, as we said, we're all pretty high on him. And Evan McPherson is Money McPherson, McFearless, and all the various other nicknames that he's had this postseason. So, yeah, I thought 50-1 was pretty generous odds on that one. And then Bengals money line, 13-8, 15 quid.
Yeah, I mean, the 8 kicking, I did look at the kicking points because obviously as part of our championship game, obviously I did over 6.5. It just really goes to show that 6.5 really was a bad line for that. I know one of them came in and one of them didn't, but 6.5 was way too low for those. So I think 8 should be about right where they should mostly be, especially for the good teams as well. But yeah, glad I was right. Just couldn't profit as much as I probably wanted to on that, but never mind. Jackie boy, let's go through yours.
My first one is losing quarterback 2 interceptions. I seen the 2 quarterbacks were both priced on Paddy Power. I think 2+ interceptions for Stafford was 5-2, and 2+ for it was 11-4, and 2+ for Burrow was 11-4 as well. I think so. Getting 7-2 on the losing quarterback to have 2+ thought was a good price. I think Mahomes had 2 interceptions last year, so kind of went off that. As I said earlier on the podcast, Higgins 100+ receiving yards, 1 touchdown, 9-2. I just expecting a really big game from him. I suppose everyone here is. And then obviously I went for him to get MVP as well, 50-1. 5 is all that's worth, because as you said, he probably needs to get maybe 3 touchdowns to get it. But
give me that 5 and I'll burn it for you.
Fiver. Yeah, and then I've gone for under 23.5 first half points. That's like arguably my best bet of the Super Bowl. And then Sony Michel, 20+ rushing yards, 6-5. When I seen that first, I couldn't believe how low it was. And then I seen that he only had 16 yards in the last game, but he had 10 carries. So he's just been playing poorly. So I just think 20+ rushing yards, like you could get that in two rushes, like 2 decent rushes. So that's another very, very good bet, I think, as well. I think his over and under is 15.5. So I suppose getting 6-5, you get 5-6 on that. Not much of a difference, but thought it was a good shout.
Some really good ones there. Like I say, that losing QB 2 interceptions is kind of hard. It goes hand in hand, doesn't it? You'd be very unlucky for the team to win if you've thrown 2 interceptions. So yeah, didn't mind that price at all. Didn't mind that at all. Callum, talk us through your plethora of bets.
Well, yeah. So as you can see, what happened was, I have decided to go about this completely differently. So there are 2 guarantees here. Either I will somehow manage to win this by a landslide if a couple of these land, or I will win none of these and come a resounding last, which I think is probably the most likely. But let's run through it. Both quarterbacks, 250 passing yards. Both starting running backs, 75 rushing yards. OBJ, Cup, Higgins, Chase, 75 receiving yards each. OBJ, Cup, Mixon, a touchdown each. It's a lot, but at 300-1, there's nothing there that was outrageous aside from maybe Mixon, 75 rush yards feels a lot. 300-1, I thought that was worth a $5.
That's what we all want to see. That's going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah, well, if I wonder if we got anywhere close to that in maybe that Chiefs-Bills game a few weeks ago. There wasn't enough rushing in that game, but there's a few games where you've seen things like that happen, and I didn't think any of those lines was really outrageous. So at 300-1, worth a shot. My personal favorite bet is, as I've said, the nonsense, but I've included the Bengals win. So this was a request bet that I made, which is a coin toss to be tails. Jax tried to ruin my life by telling me the Anthem's going to go under, but the Anthem over 1 minute and 36 seconds. I tried to get it at 92, and when they priced it, it was 96. You're not going to argue with it. As I said, no touchback on the opening kickoff, and then the Bengals to win. So really, you could have it all in hand, except for the Bengals win before the game's even started. So £25 on at 12-1, you're looking at 300+ if the Bengals win, provided you get those first 3 before the game. I really like Van Jefferson to have longest reception at 10-1. I thought that was a really good price.
Yeah,
to be
I
honest
thought that
with
was
you.
decent. Yeah, I thought that was decent.
Yeah, I kind of stumbled across it when looking for a more sensible one to offer you, Tim, and kind of just found it and thought that was a really good shout. Speedster for the Rams. I know they've got Skowronek, and they send Cup and Beckham long, but Jefferson is the kind of guy who could slip under the radar and pop one for 50. You've seen it happen before with Stafford. So at 10s, I thought that was a decent shout. I'm with Adam on this next one with Burrow's rushing yards. I think he'll be able to rush out of the. I mean, he's going to have to run away from Miller and Donald. Again, I'm a little bit heavy on the mix and rush yards, which is a little bit of a shame, but 63 is not impossible. I do like OBJ's over, and I do like the Bengals to score over 10.5 in the second half. Both teams to score 21.5, I do think is a good shout. And as we've said, this Bengals offensive line can't really hold up. So Rams 3 sacks at 20, I don't mind that. This 66-1, OBJ and Chase a touchdown each, Stafford and Burrow both on the rushing yards, and then Akers and Mixon on the receiving yards. I thought that was a high price at 66-1. I thought that was higher than I would expect to see that, so I like that as well. And then the one that's just going to make Adam as happy as possible. Bengals win, Burrow MVP, Higgins 100 yards, Chase a touchdown, and the orange Gatorade shower at 33-1. I genuinely think
that's the Bengals full house bingo, isn't it? That one.
Yeah, you got Bengals bingo. I mean, I kind of think it's one of those where you're extrapolating all times here. But if you think the Bengals are going to win, then as we've said, there's a good chance that Burrow will be MVP, and there's a good chance the Gatorade will be orange. So the way I look at it to an extent is, if the Bengals win, do we think Higgins gets 100 yards and Chase gets a touchdown? Yeah, I do. So at 33-1, I thought that was worth a shot. Clearly, I've gone about this differently to everybody else, and I apologize for making you type all that out, Tim.
I must admit, I didn't appreciate the screenshots. I will admit that I didn't appreciate the screenshots. But no, that's fine. The bottom two, no, I fully agree. I did like the bottom two on that. All right, time to go through mine. I've gone through just quite as many bets as you, Callum. So I know I told you all to keep it to 5 or 6 bets, but yeah, I couldn't help myself. Although you'll see that half of my money is going on Bengals plus 5.5 and under 50.5 points at 2-1. So that's half of my money going on that as well. I just thought, an inflated Bengals line and slightly inflated over under. I'd go under on that, and Bengals over 5.5 2-1, £50 on that. And then I've gone for a couple Rams half times, Bengals full times, or tie at full time. 8-1 for the Bengals full time, and the tie is 40, so 15 and 5 on that respectively. And then just a kind of a mix up of different players to get touchdowns. Different I think we're all in conjunction with each other. Stafford and Burrow over 250 pass yards each, and the QB rushing yards as well. We all seem to be over. I think that second to bottom one that I've got is the same as you, Callum. Yep. So I've got that one as well. And then I've just stuck on a cheeky Samaji P. Ryan, like Adam mentioned. Any time at 7-1 obviously was bigger than that, but like I say, 7-1 I still didn't think was too bad. So if the Rams winning at half time and the Bengals win, going to be looking good to at least beat Adam Wolford anyway. But that's essentially my goal for this £100 challenge. But we'll stick those all on Twitter for everyone to see and kind of follow along if you are so interested as well. But there we go, lads. All done and dusted. All that's left to do is go and watch it. Callum, are you watching at home?
Yeah, trying to host in our apartment in Dallas for the first time. Chips and queso in the crock pot, and in bed at a decent time, fortunately for me.
Yeah, very jealous indeed. Although, and it's Valentine's Day on Monday, of course, as well. I've got the half day. Jack, any traditions you have for Super Bowl? You mentioned about getting drunk, didn't you? And having drinks. You watching out? You watching in? You got friends over?
To be honest, I have no idea. I'm just going to see what happens. Probably a few drinks after the game, and if the pub is showing it, I'll watch it, and if it's not, I'll have to go home and watch it. But hopefully, I'm sober enough to actually know what's going on.
Adam Wolford, I'll come to you last, but Adam, any traditions for you watching at home? Got friends? You going out? Yeah, because obviously there's some places in London that do stuff and meetups and all the rest of it. But what do you normally do, Super Bowl?
I'm just going to be at home for that one. Unfortunately, I've got work the next day, so that'll be fun. But yeah, I'm just at home and trying not to wake up the wife. So that'll be something that the other Adam might struggle.
Yeah, I was going to say if the Bengals are winning or winning it, maybe if they're winning at a canter, it'd be right because by the time they're winning at a canter, it might still be slightly early. But if it's a final drive, Evan McPherson walk-off field goal, I think the whole street's going to be up, aren't they, Adam?
yeah, quite possibly. I've got four or five people come around. It's the one year I would have quite liked to have been out watching it. There's the Derby Uni American football team have booked somewhere. There's a couple other places around here that I know will be showing it. So I could have gone out, but I invite people around every year, and this year shouldn't be any different, even with my team in it. So yeah, I'm going to move the beer fridge downstairs, get that sorted in the living room. My chicken wings and steak arrived from Passyunk today. So that's all ready to be cooked off early Sunday to get ready for it. And yeah, just a few beers around the house. As I said before, Bud Light 3.5% keeps me drinking, but keeps me sober. It's the only way I can get through football games. And yeah, I'll see what happens at 4:30 in the morning. But
yeah, and being a postman, if the Bengals lose, are people going to not get very nice things put through the door on the Monday? Or
no, I've been wearing my Bengals gear around work as much as I can, but no one really gives a crap, to be honest. So yeah, it's one of that. I finally managed to get the Monday off because I basically told the boss I wasn't going to be in. So I was like, look, you can give me the day as unauthorized. You can give me a sick. I'm not going to be there. So whatever you want to do. Nice. So yeah, he finally authorized that as an official day off. But I might be playing golf at 10 a.m. So that'll be an interesting one. Hopefully not. I'm probably going to have to cancel plans on that one. But got a mate coming up from Oxford. So he's traveling a couple of hours to get here. And we do normally golf it. But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen this time around.
I've just got visions of Adam being in a bad mood and just chucking mail at people's doors rather than putting.
Oh no bad moods here. Bengals have overachieved massively. Whatever happens, we're just happy to be here.
I can't believe that. I saw the prices for next year's Super Bowl. They're like 14-1. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, 10 to 14, like fourth or fifth favourites. Not even I'm stupid enough to bet that.
Jesus Christ! But there you go. Yeah, well, they've got the pieces. Certainly got the pieces. So it'd be interesting.
60 million in cap space.
Yeah. Certainly, the landscape's changing in the AFC North. Maybe for a change. Obviously, music to the ears of you. Maybe not some others in the full 10 yards crew. I'm going around some friends. I don't usually go out for Super Bowl. I like to watch it at comfort of their own home, and then you can just kind of crawl to bed at 4 o'clock. But yeah, this year I'll be going out. The only tradition I have is every year sit down and watch it. The Cowboys aren't in it, so that's the only tradition I have. So well, that tradition continues this year and probably will do for the next 25, 30 years. But yeah, Jerry Jones will be gone one day. But there we go. But wherever you are doing, wherever you're watching it, whatever bets you have on, and whichever team you're supporting, enjoy the Super Bowl. Enjoy that. It's the only action we will get for 6-7 months. So if you want to catch all of us on Twitter, you can see if you're watching on the YouTube, they're all in front of you there. At Callum JD Squires, at Franchise Tag UK. For Adam, thank you for joining us today. Been a pleasure having you. At Jack T_95, and of course at Touchdown Tips. Adam, I believe your Super Bowl stuff. So you've got some bits out already? All of it out?
I don't know which Adam you're on about, but yes, I do. I'm sure the other Adam does as well. Yeah, I've put a 4,500 word preview up on my site, which took me a long time. I'm in the middle of doing the novelty props and player props, so I've gone too much in depth and I've got bored already. So the remaining bit might be a little bit rushed because it's just taken me too much effort. But yeah, all up there, all ready to go. So yeah, I'm prepped. I have date night tomorrow night, and then obviously Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, you said it's 4,500 words. How many over under 4,499 words on the Bengals winning?
Is actually fairly balanced. I am a pessimist.
Take the unders. Take the unders.
Season. But yeah, it got to. I did the Rams first. I made sure I did them first before I got bored, and then the enthusiasm kicked in with the Bengals. But yeah, it's fairly even.
There you go. Right, well, you're going to enjoy that. And as I say, yeah, enjoy that. And we'll be back, no doubt, around draft time to do some draft stuff. But if you are not a draft person, we'll see you in probably about 6 months' time. So yeah, enjoy the game. We'll see you then. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.